Good morning, everybody. Clint Remington. I'm one of the operations section chief trainees with Southwest Area Team 2. I'm going to cover kind of what we've done the last day or two operationally and the plan going forward for today's shift. So a lot going on. It's been a very busy couple days as we've had clearer air. We've had some opportunities to go insert folks a little more direct, and I'll talk about that in a second, utilize aircraft. So today we'll kind of start out up here in branch 1. A big focus the last couple days has been trying to secure where you can see this X-ray Sierra branch break, has been to get crews in as direct as we can in this more of a brush model and not the timber. We're having some success with the recovery at night with the humidity, going direct and putting fire line directly on the edge of the fire and utilizing aircraft, a lot of rotor wing helicopter UAS support to go in and try to pin that fire down in that lower brush model. That's where we're having a decent amount of success there, and we're going to continue to go forward doing that. Coming around into Division Sierra up north here, a lot of effort has gone in the last couple days into these contingency lines around the community. Still looking very hard at Heartland, making sure we have everything solid and in place there as far as a structure protection plan, equipment, pumps, sprinkler kits, things like that. And coming around the Redwood Mountain Grove. But everything's going there, solid there. We've got about 24 hours to 48 hours left, and we will literally have everything we can possibly do completed up there. And the intention there is that if something should happen here, that we're in a good spot that we can fall back to and defend this piece. Crews have worked very, very hard coming around into Division Sierra, trying to go as direct on the fire line as possible, moving basically west to east along this fire's edge. It's very tough country, but they're doing well, working in tandem with the helicopters and going direct. What we're really keeping an eye on is this North Fork of the Kooya. You can see this fire edge up in here above the Mura Grove in there. So we're watching that fire. It's slowly backing down towards the North Fork, putting together an ignition plan should we need it to kind of fill in some of these gaps and straighten out this fire line. You get a little more into that timber model as you get up higher, and it's a little more challenging given the drought and the conditions. But crews are feeling pretty good about where we're at, still developing plans up there, multiple options should we need to use it. So a lot of effort going in there. They were putting gel directly on some of the giant sequoias in Mura Grove the last couple days, so a lot of aviation has been happening there to make sure we're protecting those as best we can. So that plan has gone real well so far. Coming around into Division Papa off the 180 Sherman Highway, they've been in here kind of looking west of the 180 to really put together some plans for should we need to build little boxes in here to straighten out the fire edge as it's backing and moving around. What we really don't want is something to get in alignment and kind of shoot north on us. So typically when we're doing this kind of stuff, we try to make a very straight fire edge and clean that up. It just limits the possibilities of things getting in alignment and little weird fingers that would like to punch out. So crews are feeling pretty good about that. They're in here looking at multiple options with hotshot crews and hand crews to go in and straighten some of that out and give us some options. And additionally, try to fill in some of this fire just east of Highway M180 to fill in these donuts. So still developing those plans. We're not in a big hurry to put fire on the ground or do any of that burning. Just keeping an eye on the fire behavior. If push comes to shove, we'll have those pans in place and can make that happen. A lot of focus in Division Papa east of the 180, going direct, like I talked about over here at the branch break at Sierra, going direct along the fire edge and using helicopters and rotor wing to really try to secure some of this fire edge. They were working on filling in this gap to straighten out that edge a couple nights ago, and that was very successful. So we'll keep working direct, coming around to Division Lima. So this Papa Lima break in the northeast edge of the fire, also a place we're keeping a very close eye on. The intent there, that Twin Lakes trail that comes down, fire has crossed that. Fuels are a little bit different, but what the folks are trying to do there is hike in and pick that fire edge up direct. Again, working with the aircraft to try to make sure we limit any fire spread additionally east of the Twin Lakes Trail. So folks are in there working really hard, trying to get that secured. It's that Silman Spring there, trying to keep fire kind of north of that. So that operation's in place. Coming down into Lodgepole Campground, Community Lodgepole, the Giant Forest Groove, that structure group 1, we've really beefed those guys up with a couple strike teams and task force of engines. Inserting some overhead there, and they're getting not spread out, but their job for that structure group 1 is basically this northern edge of the fire, wherever the divisions are needing some extra help setting up pumpkins, big pumpkins that we draft water out of or can dip helicopters out of, helping with hose lays around values at risk and things like that. So structure group 1's very busy and kind of moving in different directions, staging a lot of water along the 180 for the engines to draft out of, and they've been doing really solid there. A lot of good work. Coming south into Division Gulf, this middle fork here, we're watching the fire behavior there. This has slowly been backing towards the middle fork. What we're trying to take care of is to make sure that if the fire does cross that middle fork, that we have a solid plan in place up here for Lodgepole and Giant Forest. And they've done really good there. They're about done with all the structure protection and everything else they need there. So keeping a close eye on this, and we'll try to take some action in there if needed. Let's see, coming around into Division Echo, we've talked about it. A lot of these fuels are a little scabbier out there, not real conducive to large rapid fire spread. So we're keeping an eye on a lot of this and really focusing, our efforts around the communities, first priority, and then the giant forest grove and the large sequoia is kind of secondly to that. So multiple heads on this thing that we're dealing with currently. But Echo's pretty mellow, to be honest, so far. Coming around into Mineral King, still a presence out there. Folks sticking around, making sure structure protection's in place, Silver City. But coming west along Division Charlie, you can see where the fires touched Mineral King Road. We've been talking about that mile marker 14-15 area there. Fire has not crossed Mineral King Road to the south. That's what we're trying to do for this whole piece here. So trying to make sure that this road, with lots of equipment, crews, engines, that they're really doing a good job keeping this road open. And as things come down, we basically play catch with it, make sure we put it out as it touches the road, and not let anything cross to the south. But as you get a little further west in Division Charlie, a lot of success with the crews going direct, using helicopters and folks hiking in and trying to secure this fire edge. You can see where we've got a little bit of containment here. And the divisions are out there today in the branches. They're looking for additional areas that we feel really solid about to increase the containment. It's a very slow process. We don't take containment lightly. We want to make sure if we're putting black on the map that it's truly black and it's a contained piece of fire line. So feeling pretty good about that. But the divisions have some areas today, so you might see containment increase in the next day or two. Coming around into Division Alpha, you can see all this dozer line, all these X's and things there. Crews have gone direct. Feel really good about this whole piece up here up above Mineral King. It's been very moderate, low fire behavior the last few days, and a lot of success in there in that kind of brushier fuel model. So that's all gone really well. Coming up above the headquarters in Ash Mountain, did have a little spot fire a day or two ago up there, about 2 acres that the crews took care of. Feeling really good about that as well. So this west side of the fire, Division Zulu and X-Ray. I talked about it a little up here, but still that lower elevation brush, and that's where we've had the success with the crews going direct and putting direct hand line in there. So still not forgetting about our contingency plans out to the west should we need to implement any firing operations or holding features out there. But they've done a really good job giving the team multiple options to use in the event we need to take short pieces out to take fire out of play. So all going really well there. But overall, really solid last couple days. Yesterday afternoon, inversion set in really hard, and the guys up to the north, especially up here in that Papalima country, they could see 50 to 100 feet in front of them, couldn't see the tops of trees, and so hopefully we don't get a repeat of that. But that kind of limits, the safety factor of if somebody does get hurt and how do we get them out, if we're relying on extraction with aviation to get somebody out. So we're being very, very careful about what we're asking folks to do, where we're putting them, and things are going really well. So that's kind of the update for today. Really appreciate the support from the community. You guys have been awesome, and we'll continue to do our best for you guys. So thank you guys, and have a good day.